What's up, guys? My name is Jellycut5 and welcome back to an episode of the Tenerife career mode. Before we do get into this particular video, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you never miss a video. I hope you guys enjoyed the previous episode where we got things introduced and we got the ball rolling in that regard. We're going to be starting today's episode just going through the development plan for each and every individual player that is currently at the club, just to trying to boost their level up. This is a significant part of career mode, and if you're not doing so, you are missing out. So if you haven't done this in your particular career mode yourself, I would definitely advise to do so from now. It allows your players to be able to create a player growth itself of a particular role, and you're able to focus on different weaknesses that they potentially might have to make them a strength. So I've always found it an important factor, especially in this particular career mode save, where we're going to be obviously developing a lot of young players and so on. So interesting parts of it, that's for sure. Obviously, we've got a fairly big squad. Some players still are going to be going on the door. At the same time, there's going to be players that are going to be staying with us. So it's kind of refining that and just going from there. In fairness, it's a big job to have, but we are looking forward to what is going to be a very, very good season, we hope anyway. We start off the episode also with a decent signing that we hope anyway. We're going to Chelsea to offer Keanu Dyer a move away. It's one of those moves that it's slightly likely because obviously he's a centre mid, he's young, he's English, he's not going to get the playtime at Chelsea, and he's a very young player and he's got a decent amount of potential. They're looking for 800,000 at that moment in time, and obviously we're going to try and get the less as we possibly can. I'm going to go for 750 and see if Enzo Maresca is happy to do so, and Maresca is happy to do so. It's a reasonable offer, and now we can talk to Keanu Dyer to see if he would be interested in joining the club. His wages are slightly high, which can be some sort of a problem in time. At the same time, we should be able to dock them down to an extent. He's wanting to stay here for a decent amount of time. He's also not wanting the highest of roles, which we don't have to give him the most game time compared to what we have already on the pitch. And he's also willing to be able to dock his wages, which is really nice to see. Obviously, we're going to try and minus the bonus that slight bit much to be able to kind of have it where we've got a little bit more in our bank, obviously ourselves. So in the case, we're going to go for a 15,500 deal and a 20,000 sign-on bonus. And Keanu Dyer is the first signing of the episode. Dyer will then have a 26 next season, or this season, sorry. A player that's going to be involved a fair bit, but a player that's not going to be on the pitch throughout the whole season, I think. He's one for the development, but obviously we're going to be signing a multitude of players in that sort of position at the same time, so we're going to be rotating. But he's got a decent amount of base stats already, and he's definitely someone that we can develop to in time. But we're going to get straight into our first game, and then we will talk about transfer deadline day. And our first game of the episode faces Malaga, a team that you're probably all renowned for knowing in that regard. Obviously, a team that's been in La Liga for a fair few seasons over time. Unfortunately, they find themselves at the second division of the Liga, so they're looking to get themselves pumped back up, and we are looking to see if we can get a result today so we can get ourselves into that league ourselves. This is the lineup. Malaga in goal there, Leon and Alves as centre-backs, Valverde on the right there, Melot on the left-hand side. Going into the midfield, Dyer makes his debut with Misa just ahead, Herrera on the left, and go up top, and then we've got Waldo on the left-hand side. Looking forward to this tie, but somewhat not really knowing what to expect in fairness, because Malaga are a very good side, and they display that nice and early there with some decent bit of passing, looking to create an avenue straight away, and they definitely mean the business as they pick the ball up in a really dangerous area with an opportunity, but Malaga forced into the save, putting it out for a corner kick. But great test early on in this tie as Malaga have a corner inside 3 minutes. They're looking to start the game nice and strongly with a corner whipped into the ball there, as you can see, really good ball into the area, but just not really been able to do anything with it. And we now look to clear our lines. Leon picks it up and he finds Waldo on the left hand side. I can't say the same for ourselves in terms of the starts that we've made. Nothing really quick, but Alves makes a good interception, finding his teammate Diarra in the middle. Diarra tries to play a ball straight to Wangal there, as you can see, but Malaga get back in possession and they go straight on the attack with an opportunity to see if they can get forward and create an option for themselves there. As you can see, they're really good at holding up the ball, to be honest, really good at playing it about and creating themselves in some good positions, and this is a great chance there, and it just strays wide on that opportunity. not to be on that particular case there as we play it out from the goal kick. Leon looks to find Alvarez on the right hand side as he wins the ball, finding his teammate Diarra in the middle. As you can see, Herrera making a 1-2 with Angel there, looking to see what we can do in that moment in time as Melo picks it out on the left hand side. He finds Misa now to Waldo on the left hand side. Good opportunity to get the ball into the air as he looks to cut inside on the right. He could actually take the shot himself there. He tries to skip past the defenders, but the dribbling isn't up to scratch and they do clear their lines. But Dyer, a really good intercepting header, finding Melo on the left hand side. Back to Dyer it goes as he finds Waldo on the left hand side, finding Mesa. Really good opportunity now to see if we can create something as Waldo is in space there as he's found with the pass. Could get a ball into the area, to be honest, as we go on the edge of the area. We skip inside, a ball into the box there. Mesa picks it up, great opportunity, and that is a top save made from the keeper as Malaga look to clear their lines. But I wouldn't feel like this is over yet. So Reta charges him down. He wins the ball. This is a great chance for Angel. He picks it up, he hits the ball, and he finds the back of the net, and it's Tenerife that take the lead, and it is 1-0 then. Malaga trailing in this tie, and you would say Malaga are the better side out of the two in this particular tie, knowing that they've started the strongest out of the two, shall we say. A few chances in the half, but they haven't really seemed to take it, and nothing has really fallen to our grasp whatsoever. But this particular time it has, and we have got a decent goal there, as you can see. Keeper could have done slightly better in that moment, but it seems to be he's hit it with a lot of power, and he's getting nowhere near that. And as you can see, we're going to be celebrating that one as we get second half kicked off. The first half was pretty tame after that goal. Nothing really happened, to be honest. Either side just cancelling each other out and no opportunities created whatsoever as we look to be able to start the second half nice and strong as Waldo plays it around. As you can see, Melo now Dyer, Diarra on the ball, options on the right hand side for being Herrera. He's got an option on the right to make an overlapping run, but a ball into the air, and it's Angel, and he wins the header starting the second half as we mean to go on, and Angel makes it 2 goals in this game, and Tenerife are in a 2-goal lead ahead. It's Tenerife 2, Malaga 0. Malaga are going to be wondering what they need to do to be able to score a goal in this particular tie after we start the second half so brightly now, knowing that they've got a 2-goal deficit to be able to climb from. Not the easiest whatsoever, but a decent goal from Angel there, being stronger out of the two compared to the defender. Just rises that slight bit up there to win the header, putting it into the bottom corner. I don't think the goalkeeper even expected him to win the header, and we now have a 2-goal advantage. Really, really excited now because we're in a really good position, but Malaga are definitely not going to give up whatsoever, but neither are we. But Malaga look to create an opportunity now with an option there, and Malagon with a top save, throwing it out to his teammate Keanu Dyer. Not a bad debut so far as Alvarez finds his teammate on the right hand side. Alvarez there as he tries to skip inside, but it's not really worked for him whatsoever, and they do get back in possession here, Malaga, with an opportunity to stride forward. Enriquez now, and that will be forced into a corner after a big save made by Malagon. Substitution also with Moreno coming on for Waldo, and we know that just kind of freshens up the side on that left. 57 minutes into the tie, we're looking to be good on the defensive sort of sides of things, and we look pretty solid in fairness. It's been a good game for us so far, looking sharp attacking wise and defending, but we lose the ball out in the middle there, as you can see, as Malaga look to play it around, and they're still quite good on their passing aspects of things, and they create a great chance there for Castel as Malagon is forced into a top save. But substitutions to be made there. Sergio Gonzalez comes on the field for Keanu Dyer. Not a bad game whatsoever, definitely more to come from the youngster, but the corner whipped in there. We look to deal with it initially with Malagon making a decent save there as it looks to throw it out to a teammate, but the throw is pretty poor unfortunately, and Malaga retain themselves into possession. But a really good interception there in the middle of the park as we look to be able to see if we can pick it out on the left hand side, and it seems to be just trying to get the pass off is really frustrating for ourselves. So I'm not too sure why, but it's that final ball, and this is a great chance for Malaga, and unfortunately the ball just straying wide of the post, and it's hard to say for themselves why they're not got a goal in this tie, because they've definitely created so many chances in this tie to get in front or even kind of get level. So it's not really happening for a moment. It seems to be that one of those days. But again, another chance there, as you can see, with Castel trying to get in there, but he just can't seem to do so as we look to be able to play it out from the back. But the passing really does need to sharpen up. I feel like we lose the ball in too many vital areas, and I feel like once we kind of get promoted, then obviously that will be the case where it's going to be a big factor to our game. But another save made by Malagon there, as you can see, as it falls behind for a corner kick. 15 minutes left in this tie. 2-0 lead is never safe, that is for sure. And this is a chance now as Malaga look to try and see if they can get a goal just just before the 80th to create a last edgy 10 there, but Malagon with a top save as he looks to offload it to the left-hand side there, and Moreno is there to be able to see if he can retrieve the ball, and he definitely does that, looking to take on an opposition there, as you can see, as he tries to put the ball into the gap, but not to be successful. Malaga getting back into possession. Castel picks it up. He finds his teammate there, as you can see. Leon with a tackle, but it's trying to get the ball out to the areas to kind of make it less dangerous. He does find Malo on the left-hand side, but the ball is poor once again, and the passing has definitely been our Achilles heel in this game, as Castel could have a chance here as he finds Seneganale. It's Castel there, and they have broken their own deadlock. It's Tenerife 2, Malaga 1, and they have got a goal back in this tie to be able to make it a last 10. It's a little bit edgy for ourselves. I'd feel like we deserved winners, but with a goal like that, you just never know towards the end. But a definitely good finish on his right foot into the bottom corner. But that was all she wrote. Full-time whistle was blown, and we do become victorious in this tie. 2-1 victory over Malaga, and a good result in the end. I wouldn't say it's a complete performance that we was realistically wanting, but at the end of the day, we got the result, and that's all that matters. Angel with 2 goals. He seems to be our maestro in front of goal, and hopefully that will continue. Positive notes from the board for our youth development. As you can see, we've actually reached our youth academy site with hoping to sign a future star for the team and playing a key role in achieving that ambition. So that is one thing ticked off in terms of the roles that they want us to complete throughout the season. We did get an offer from Jan Bodiger there for 1.4 million in the end, which isn't a bad deal whatsoever. A player that I'm not going to be using whatsoever. A player that I've kind of looked at. He's too slow for my liking whatsoever in the middle, and he's an aging player at the age of 29 and in the high 60s. Not someone that I was looking to use throughout the season if I can get some money to do so, and a 1.4 million deal came in from Real Sporting, and he will be going to the fellow La Liga 2 side there. Decent price for him in the end. We got the most out of the deal, which is the main thing, and onwards and upwards in terms of the transfers that we have ahead of us. And in terms of a replacement, we looked at F.A. Ackman. He's got a market value of 1.1 million, but we're looking more towards the 950 mark, just to be able to try and save as much money as we possibly can. And then they came back with us with this Ruben Alves, which has got a market value of 1 million plus 46,000. That's not a bad deal whatsoever, and we're getting rid of a player that I probably won't really use this season as much as he featured in the last game. Again, I'm not really too assured on what sort of talents that he has within the side, so definitely one move that would actually kind of benefit ourselves, and hopefully we can get that deal over the line in terms of contracts. His wage isn't too bad. He's got a squad role of rotation, so again, he's not really expecting to play every game. He wants to be on a lengthy contract, so I won't be renewing his contract anytime soon, having to worry about the fee in that regard. We're going to deny the release clause just in case that he does actually reach a potential kind of rating, and then that does get met. So going on to the wage, the current wage is 13,500. I've just gone for a dead 12 to see if he would accept it. We're going to submit the offer. I was really unsure, but he does accept there, as you can see. And F.A. Ackman will wear the number 15 shirt, coming all the way from Galatasaray to Tenerife. It's going to be a great experience for himself, and hopefully he will get plenty of game time on his way. So one comes out, but one goes in. Confirmation of that transfer as Marco, as you can see, promoting in terms of the deal that happened between ourselves and Galatasaray. It's always good to see us in the limelight in terms of the social media aspects, and definitely moving forward for the transfer window. With that deal sealed and done, we're looking for a new centre-back due to the fact that we have sold Alves now. Jamie Vasquez, he plays for Real Oviedo and he is 18 years old, 63 rated, looking at pure talent to be honest, and not at a hefty fee at the same time. Valued at 975, we've gone in at 795, so 200,000 less to what he is valued at. They've bumped it up to 800,000 with a 1% sell-on clause, and there is no reason why we can't get the deal done in that respect, as long as he is able to accept the deal going forward. He's on a low wage, he only wants a low role at the same time, so I feel like it's a win-win for both clubs. They get the fee that's wanted, and at the same time we're able to get a player that we're able to develop and so on. Really looking forward to this one, because there's many things in career mode that have spoken highly about this particular player, especially obviously only having to pay so little at the same time. So Vasquez is through and done, and Jamie Vasquez will wear the number 6 shirt for this season. Really looking forward to see how he'll get fair in the centre-back role. Now, one thing that's probably questioned about is that I am signing lower rated players than compared to what I'm selling. At the same time, it's a gamble, but at another time, it's terms of looking forward in terms of the potential and so on. The squad that I've taken over is an ageing squad, so if I can replace them with younger players and kind of bring them on, then we find ourselves in a very, very good position. Now, we've got a decent right back in Rodriguez, but I felt like there was some sort of backup that was needed. Noah Mikic, he currently plays for Dynamo Zagreb. He's 17 years of old and he's already 63 rated, so he's got a very high potential, being already low rated and very low age at the same time. We've gone at 750. They're happy to accept that as long as we put a 1% sell-on clause, and that is absolutely fine. So we get that deal done and dusted. And again, he's a player that's on a low wage. He only wants a low role, so it's a win-win for both clubs. They get the fee, we get the player that we want. It's as simple as that, and it's good business in my opinion. Obviously, it's a lot of signings, but at the same time, we've sold players and so on. We've started with a £2 million budget, bearing in mind, so it's not like we've had a financial takeover. It's not like we've been silly with the money that we've received. It's just a case that we've been careful what we've got. We've sold the players that we needed, and we've brought in players that we believe that will be good for the future. So Noah Mikic will come through the squad, and he will wear them a 31 shirt for this season, all the way from Dynamo Zagreb. It's a very good deal for both clubs in my opinion. It's a good price for a player that's going to be high in potential, and hopefully he will get the game time that's needed to be able to fulfill that potential and go further forward in the club. He's got good competition in Rodriguez, but at the same time they'll be alternating with fitness and so on, and hopefully we will see him on the pitch very, very soon. Now, we've done some deals with some other clubs. I looked at the free agents list, and this person could not be taken amiss. I'm surprised he's even on the free agents list still at this point in time, at the deadline day point. Marcel Ruiz, he's 23 years of age, and 76 rated. Definitely a player that he could push on into the 80s. And the wage isn't too bad, to be honest, in fairness. Obviously, you can see on the left-hand corner that the wage budget isn't exactly high. But at the end of the day, he's a good player, and it's someone that we need to be able to replace Mesa because he is 36 years of age. Marcel will wear number 7 shirt from this season. We are getting the signings through thick and fast, but it's definitely what's needed. After playing a few games, it was quite clear that we don't have a cam whatsoever. There's sort of some players that could play in that position, predominantly a centre mid, but at the same time, I didn't really want to push players out of position, and I thought it was best to sign a player in this sort of calibre. He will be an absolute star player for the squad, that is for sure, and hopefully we will see him on the pitch very, very soon. And we're not done there, because in terms of selling, Nikola Zipsic, we've had a deal with 1.15 million. I've gone for 1.5 straight away, and they're quite happy to accept that. Almira are quite happy to accept, and Sipsic will be out the door. It's a player that we had on loan. We've recalled him from loan. I did play him. I didn't really think much of him, in fairness. Was a player that kind of, again, really high age, low rating, not going to have much potential. So I'm not really interested in keeping players at the club that are going to have a decent potential. If they've already got a decent rating already, then that's fine. But already only being like 69 rated, it's just one of those where I feel like at the club, I think it would be the best for both of us to be able to get a decent fee, but at the same time, obviously put the player on to where he can play more games, and he will go over to fellow La Liga side Almira for 1.5 million. Now, obviously, I'm selling players, but I need to replace them, and one player that I looked at and he stood out really much, to be honest, Andreas Quenza, 62 years old, 62 rated, 17 years old. They originally wanted a deal for Vazquez, which I was not interested in, obviously only just signing him. Barcelona are a team that's been renowned for bringing on players, and this is definitely something that I could do in this particular situation. Take one of their young talents, possibly for 750,000, and they're quite happy to accept, and so is Quenza. Number 29 shirt he will wear for the season. He's on a high contract, he's on a low wage. Again, a player that we're really welcoming, and hopefully he will be becoming one of the big players to come. But that is it for our transfer, but obviously the deadline day is now over. We can still sign free agents, but realistically, with the money that we've spent and so on, that is it for ourselves. The highest the fee that we paid was 750,000, so 800,000 there, sorry, actually from Real Oviedo. So I don't think that's a bad position to be in whatsoever. We've got out some of the deadwood. At the same time, there's still actually a fair few players in the squad that didn't go whatsoever. Whether that's the case, they'll go on to Partius New throughout, I'm not too sure, or they'll kind of run out their contract. As you can see, there were two players that didn't actually feature, Alvarez and Kang. They went on loan. Alvarez did actually play one of the games there. It wasn't too bad, but I didn't feel like he would be getting much playing time with Mikic and Rodriguez on that right-hand side. But overall, I feel like we've got the players that we needed to sign, and hopefully it will come together as a side, and we'll bring in many potential players into a future start. So our last game of the episode, as you can see, we face Racing Club. Looking forward to this one away from home, a team that's not really been doing so far well that good as into the start of the season. Obviously, the season is very, very kind of young into it, shall we say. It's one of those, again, I don't know what to expect. We've changed a lot in terms of the side. As you can see, Malagon in goal, Vasquez and Angola partner with Vasquez making his debut with Melo on the left-hand side, Rodriguez on the right, Diarra, Cameron and Ruiz in the middle with Ruiz making his debut, Herrera on the right, Angel up top and Marlos Moreno on the left-hand side there. Looking forward to this tie, but at the same time, as I mentioned, not too sure what to expect. As we start off the game in 11 minutes into the tie, Angola picks it up there, looking for an option to see if he can kind of get the ball rolling as Herrera makes a run on the right-hand side, but Angola looks to be able to stride forward and create an opportunity to get a ball into the area. It's a decent ball nevertheless, but there was no one really to hit it to, unfortunately, in that moment, and they do clear their lines as Melo picked it up. He looks to go back to Angola, Diarra in the middle now, Herrera making the run as he's found the pass there, as he looks to drag himself wide and then cut inside. He does really well, to be honest, and that is a top save from the keeper. I'm not too sure he got to that one. I thought that was a dead serve, but it's still in play. Rob Cameron on the ball as he looks to find Diarra there, as he looks to take the shot, and that is a shot block made from the defenders. Falls back out to Cameron. He wins the header, throwing to Diarra, but that ball is ever so poor to Moreno, and that goes out for a goal kick. This game started really slow in hindsight, nothing really created from both sides. The case of trying to find out the weaknesses and strengths in either side and kind of go from there. But Melo makes a really, really good challenge in my opinion. Well, unfortunately, the referee doesn't see it that way, and they do get the free kick there. But the free kick is poor as Melo wins the interception there, finding Rob Cameron. Diarra now in play. This could be a snatch and grab situation. It's Diarra, and that is going to be going out for a corner kick. First corner of the game there as Ruiz steps over the corner. Hasn't had too much to say so far as the ball is whipped in. Angola is there. Can't win the header, but it falls out to Vasquez. He nods it onto Angel. He can't get the shot off. It's Angola. Now it's Angel, and he gets the rebounded finish there to make it Racing Club 0, Tenerife 1. Angel on the score sheet once again. He might be 37 years old, but he's definitely defying the odds in this fixture. What a moment that is for himself, and he gets himself on the score sheet once again there to put his side in front. I would say assessing the game that we probably deserved of doing so, but at the same time, I don't feel like we've done much to realistically be in that sort of position. Lucky from the initial shot where Angola hits it falls from the defender straight to Angel's first, and he chests it down there, and he absolutely wallops it into the back of the net. Keeper could have done anything with that whatsoever, and we now are ahead in this tie. So we're in a good position, but it leads us into the second half. Now the first half was a little bit dry. Hopefully the second half will pick up as Racing Club look to see if they can do something in this moment in time. But a good interception finds Rob Cameron in a good position, finding Moreno on the left hand side, making a 1-2 with Marcel Ruiz there as he finds Angel, and Angel puts a straight ball to Moreno. Good play so far as Moreno picks it up. He cuts inside. He does so well to be in the position. He is showing a bit of flair there as he looks to get past the defenders, finding Ruiz on the left hand side. Ball to be whipped into the area, you would have thought, but he plays it on the outside to Diarra. Diarra with a chance. He goes back to Cameron. Now Ruiz there, as you can see. Ruiz playing it out to the middle. He finds Herrera, and the header just straying wide. Good chance from Herrera, but wasn't to be on that particular occasion as they get the goal kick underway there. And they've got a lot of time, the opposition, to get themselves back into the game, obviously. It's a hard one to predict because obviously we're in a stage now where we're 1 goal up, but we can't be sitting on this lead whatsoever. We just need to do what we can do to possibly get ourselves another goal in this tie. A lovely bit of passing there, playing it out from the back as Marcel Ruiz picks it up. Hasn't had too much to say for himself in this tie so far as he looks to try and get himself into it with a pass, but unfortunately that was missed straight there as they can pick it back up once again there with defenders having to be brought into action. As you can see, Sene on the ball with France De Rayo on the right hand side, back to Delmas there as you can see on the right. Lovely ball to Vallejo in the middle there, and it's a decent bit of defending there as we try and put him off, and Malagon with a top save in that moment in time. But substitutions there, Cantero and Cruz come on the pitch for Herrera and Angel, so we look to be able to change the attacking options up going forward as we get the goal kick underway. Then 71 minutes on the clock there. Diarra finds Cruz looking for an option to find Cantero there as he finds him perfectly. He puts it down, and that's an absolute impact sub if I've ever seen one. Cruz with the assist, Cantero with the goal, and that is the best substitution that we could possibly make as we find ourselves with a 2-goal lead now in this tie. Really unexpected, it has to be said, but what a moment that is to be able to make a substitution and find such a big impact in that moment in time. What a ball that was from Cruz on the right hand side as he finds his teammate perfectly, but the striker still has so much more to do to be able to touch it down from the air, and he finishes it with some venom there. Really, really good finish, and that is definitely in a good position now, as we know we have got a 2-goal advantage. 15 minutes in the tie. As long as we don't concede in this moment in time, things should be pretty good as they get a ball into the area there. As you can see, as Cameron looks to deal with it. It's a really weird pass to Melo, but it still finds himself in a good position as Vasquez finds Ruiz in the middle there. Ruiz travelling with it forward, finding Moreno on the left-hand side. Ball to be whipped into the middle there as Ruiz picks it back up there. Options are there, as you can see, as he looks to be able to see if he can get a shot, but not to be on this occasion, as the opposition pick the ball back up and go again there. And they're really persistent in the attack. They just can't seem to be able to kind of get into the final third and create a real opportunity. But in terms of their passing and their positioning, it's really solid, it has to be said. But a challenge from N'Golo there as they look to play it short from the free kick. As you can see, they're really in a good position, but once again, a really good challenge from N'Golo. But Melo doesn't really seem to clear it whatsoever. Ball to look to be whipped into the area there, as you can see, as it does eventually. N'Golo gets the block, but it falls down to a header, and the header just straying wide in that opportunity. But the full-time whistle has been blown, and we do get 3 points on the road. A 2-0 victory in the end, thanks to the efforts of Angel and Cantero. Really good fixture. Wasn't the most exciting whatsoever, but at the end of the day, we got the result that was needed, and that is exactly what was needed, what we needed in the end. Can't fault the boys whatsoever. Defensively, we looked sharp. Midfield was pinging around some few distant balls, and we finished our chances when needed to in attack. And looking at the team of the week, Jamie Vasquez actually got his man of the match there. Well, team of the week, shall we say. So good to see the youngster already getting in the team of the week. Does his confidence very well, and hopefully we will see him in the team of the week for many times to come. Now, with that game over and done, we have a simulation against CD Aldernese. Unfortunately, it didn't become as successful. Angel does get on the score sheet, but only to be able to secure a equaliser. As you can see, Mikel did miss a penalty at the same time, so we could have had the chance to be able to get the lead, but unfortunately, just wasn't to be on that particular one, as we have our final simulation of the episode against Deportivo, and we do get the victory there. As you can see, Mikel getting on the score sheet this time, and Guerrero also getting on the score sheet to be able to get a 2-1 victory away from home. Big 3 points on the road, and luckily for ourselves, better than the last simulation that was played against CD Aldernese. As you can see, Angel is on track to shatter the La Liga high promotion goal scoring record. Better rewrite those history books. 6 goals. The competition record is 46, projected 61. 4 matches being played, so you just never know. And Mikel Mesa getting on the man of the match there after a decent performance, getting a few goals under his belt. Looking at the table then, obviously we've only played 5 games, but the table obviously shapes up as soon as you know it. Looking at the bottom, there's a few top teams down the bottom, to be honest, and it's very surprising to see, Malaga being one of them. Obviously there's going to be many clubs in this league that are actually very, very strong. Levante down to 9th, but the season is still very, very early on, so a lot to expect on still. We've played 5, won 4, drawn 1, 13 points, and we're level with Real Zagagora that are on 13 points. Also just behind Cadiz, just behind is Real Oviedo with 11 points. So not many points to be able to split the whole table. 5 points from 8th to 1st. So we can't project anything as of yet, but we are in the right sort of position. That is for sure. But that is it for this particular episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Please like and subscribe for more content. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you never miss a video. Cheers.